Yeah, welcome back to another episode of Run the Tape. 3 dudes, 1 game, and all the tape. Let's run it this time.
You know what I'm saying?
Obviously, week 1 of the NBA season has wrapped up, and boy, was it an exciting week. I mean, there was so many close games, so many classics that we're going to remember for a while.
There's so many people stepping up that some people you wouldn't even expect.
Absolutely.
Dude, some people really stepping up. Dude, these games right now, we're getting like 40, 50 bombs.
Dude, we've already had, I think, 6 40 bombs, 2 or 3 50 bombs at this point. OKC hasn't played a game that hasn't gone to a double overtime. 2 games, 4 overtimes.
Dude, played 2 really good opponents to start off the year too.
And one thing I'd love to see in the beginning of the season is the best players in the league really showing their greatness.
Yeah.
You know?
Best players in the league, new best players in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, this is that time of year where, everyone's trying hard because it's the start of the season. Yeah. So you really get the best performances, obviously, middle of the year. It's going to slow down a little bit. Obviously, you can't sustain this amount of greatness for a whole season.
100%.
So what we're seeing right now is the best of the best. So, it's exciting to see. You know what I'm saying?
Super. But unfortunately,
We got to talk about the big story, right?
Early October 23rd, 2 arrests were made. Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier. This kind of overshadowing a little bit of what the greatness that we've seen in the first week.
Yeah, hate to see controversy,
Yeah, extreme controversy, something that threatens the integrity of basketball. So let me just go through the details, and then I'm interested to hear what both you guys think, because this has big effects on basketball in general.
Yeah, definitely.
So Chauncey Billups was arrested for alleged rigging of poker games where he used advanced technology to basically learn insight about the cards that cheated the game. And he was tied to 9 mafia families, one of which is the Gambino family, which is really prominent here in New York. Terry Rozier was a separate investigation, but he was arrested for allegedly manipulating his performance to rig bets, and he was also receiving money from this. There's a number of games that are being investigated right now.
One specifically in 2023 when he was with the Hawks.
Yeah, where I believe he faked the injury that game.
Hornets.
Hornets, that's what it was. Sorry.
Faked injury to hit the under. How is this going to affect basketball, or even maybe beyond basketball, sport, right?
Yeah.
Does this change how you view the game, knowing that players might...
I mean, that's been a problem all throughout sports throughout history, right? I mean, earliest example that we can think of, it goes back to even Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan has had his problems with gambling all throughout his years. And, there's a lot of controversy why he retired the first time. Obviously, one of the big reasons why people say he's got his gambling problems, And, it goes down to also Michael Porter Jr.'s brother as well. It stems from that, him betting in the middle of the season, him going on the under for himself as well when he was playing.
Yeah.
The roots go down super deep, man, when it comes to sports betting. It's always been a problem, and obviously sports betting is bigger than ever.
100%.
You see it all throughout the league. Anytime you watch a game, that's the main thing that you see. So it's so much bigger now in the game that it's hard to, you have to watch it and be like, this honestly could become a bigger and bigger problem as the years go on.
100%.
Yeah. What do you think, Griffin?
100%. I think the Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier situations are very different. I am more leaning towards Chauncey Billups as the person who did something way worse. Just because as a head coach, you have the responsibility to be a role model to your players, your organization. You were the face of the organization when you were the head coach, and there really is no point of doing this, right? Especially when you're coaching. You need to be able to be focused on your craft and not engage in activities that are going to get you in trouble at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
The Terry Rozier situation is a little different. I feel for him. This is obviously because of a lack of mental health, and.
But why do you also? Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
But why do you say that the But don't you think the Terry Rozier situation can be just as worse? He's literally rigging his own performance
100%, and
for profit.
I think what Terry Rozier was extremely unethical and a horrible, horrible decision.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he did it for a specific reason, whether it is he needed money or felt an addictive sense where he felt like he just needed to do it.
But as a fan, don't you think it ruins the game?
Oh, 100%. It's horrible for the sport, and I think gambling has gone completely out of control. Way too many people have access to it. But at the same time, when a situation like this happens with Terry Rozier, they're going to arrest him. He's actually still being paid, which is interesting, which I saw. He's on like immediate leave, meaning he's still getting his contract, which is crazy.
He's arrested, but it's all alleged. There's nothing that's been proven in court yet.
Yeah,
So
you
Okay, fair.
You can't punish him first.
Yeah. But let's talk. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, just one last thing. With Terry Rozier, I just think, yes, he should get in trouble, and yes, he will get in trouble if it is true, but I hope he gets the help he needs, because obviously there's something going on in his life, or he has something that he needs to work on personally to make a decision like this.
Yeah, because when you're a millionaire like that, having to sort something like that, especially something so risky that you know is going to get you in trouble, you have to be in some kind of serious thing to really.
And I'm gonna be honest, that's something that I didn't think about. I was really my thought process after hearing this was how this affects the integrity of the game.
Yeah.
But I just want to quickly bring up the consequences. Jonte Porter got a lifetime ban.
Yeah.
Tim, the referee, I forget his last name. Tim Donaghy also got a lifetime ban. The stakes are lifetime bans, possibly for Chauncey Billups. If everything that's been said is true, which is that he also helped in giving information to people about rigging games, his Hall of Fame status can be stripped from him.
Now, let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
Do you think if he is proven guilty of these claims, Chauncey Billups should be stripped of his Hall of Fame induction?
I do.
Really?
I honestly do. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you're obviously ruining the integrity of the game, and you know, obviously we've seen other players that have been stripped. Obviously, Pete Rose, obviously in other circumstances as well for cheating. We're doing the same. We're doing the same thing, right?
Well, he wasn't. Pete Rose wasn't stripped of it.
Yeah.
He was
He
just
was
never.
he was just never inducted. But still, the same lines.
No,
apply.
it's very similar. Yeah.
And you know, you got to treat everybody the same way. You can't make caveats for people.
This is what I would say though. Chauncey Billups got in the Hall of Fame, not what he did as a coach, as a player.
Of course.
There's nothing that, as far as I know in these investigations, that says that as a player he messed up. And Bill Russell got in the Hall of Fame twice as a coach and a player.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily, as Chauncey Billups is a player.
So you say leave that separate?
Yeah, I do. I don't know.
I get what you're saying, but that's just not realistic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I guess so, but
for stuff like that, you have to
unnecessary.
the NBA has to be kind of strict on these things. You know, like even Hall of Fame players, you gotta stick by basketball rules and basketball integrity. You know what I'm saying? And to do that is just proof that the NBA takes this stuff kind of seriously, and that's really good for an organization. It really keeps people in line and obviously
people on their toes.
and you can't cheat the game.
No.
And I think that's super important.
And last thing I'll say, there's a real difference here between this Jonte Porter situation and the Terry Rozier situation. Jonte Porter was a G League guy. He got called up to the Raptors occasionally, but he wasn't one of their main players. Terry Rozier is a guy who has $160 million in career earnings.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see a guy who's made so much in the NBA have to do something like this.
Yeah, it is. And I think that speaks more to your mental health, what you had to say about the mental health, because it's not something, it's definitely not I can't imagine, unless he's been poorly with his finances, which happens a lot, but I can't imagine it's because he's in need of money and he's struggling to get that right now. He has a paycheck coming in every month, every 2 weeks, whatever he decides. And he's on a good deal. For that matter, it's not like
he's making $26 million this season. By the way, completely undeserving.
Undeserving as well. This is based off.
We can get there. We can get to that. We'll get to that at a later point. Yeah. All right, I think it's time to shift to a more happy subject.
Let's talk basketball, man.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just do a quick recap of all the significant games that we saw.
Yeah.
Obviously, there were so many good games. I mean, first 2 games of the season were great. OKC Rockets double overtime. Shea went for 40. Kevin Durant had 23. I mean, but
Cancun with 37.
yeah,
We saw a version of Amen Thompson we haven't seen before,
Yeah.
which was pretty cool.
But yeah.
I mean, huge lineup, a lot of 2-3 zone in that game, a lot more than I was expecting. I'm gonna be honest. Like,
yeah.
100%.
they really were comfortable. They had a man in Jabari at the top, Kevin Durant, and
I think Shea only had 11 points through almost
Through
three
three
quarters,
quarters,
right?
yeah.
They really did a good job containing him.
Yeah, they really
I thought it was
did, yeah.
looking good for them, and then what do you think the shift was?
I think, unfortunately, as much as I love this player, Reed Shepherd.
He's such a liability. Shea took advantage.
Yeah,
They started getting foul trouble, and then they had to play Reed Shepherd.
Yeah.
And Amen got hurt. I believe he got checked out in the third quarter, right? Fourth or third, doesn't matter.
Yeah,
At a certain
yeah.
point, Amen Thompson could not play in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, just when you could see it when they watched the game, every single time they were attacking that matchup when Reed Shepherd was in, and they Houston didn't really have an answer. They couldn't go to their 2-3 zone with Reed Shepherd on the floor because that's going to be a hole in the zone, and they couldn't go to a man because they were attacking that matchup every time, and it shifted. Houston was up most of the game,
Yeah.
and OKC was able to fight.
You think the Rockets should look to trade for a guard?
I mean, that's a really big deal. That's like the biggest hole that they have. Obviously, you lose Fred VanVleet for the entire season. You know what I'm saying? And that, I mean, you could say what you want about Fred VanVleet, but he brings a lot more defense than Reed Shepherd does. And offensively, you get what you get from him. Dude, come on. I mean, it's hard to say though if they should push for a point guard this season, knowing that you have Fred VanVleet coming back, and not knowing what assets you kind of give up.
That's true, but I like that they have a lot of assets to play with, and if you can fill that hole in the beginning of the season, that could be a huge thing for. I mean, that could be the difference between a top 3 seed and a bottom 3 seed in the West.
It's kind of like what do you get? Like, what can you get?
I mean,
what assets are you
really
willing?
test the market.
What assets are you willing to give up?
I'm thinking a guy like Colin Sexton on the Hornets.
That'd be amazing.
I'm thinking
I was thinking Austin Reeves.
No,
But
that's not
you
possible.
you could get maybe a Tyus Jones, something like that. Like just something, you know what I mean? Because they really have no point guard depth. They have Aaron Holiday, but he's just not going to get the job done.
Would you do like a Kyle Lowry at this point? You're just gonna be cheap.
I think they need someone.
Because you're only gonna get him for what, like another year?
I think you need someone a little more durable.
A little more durable, understandable. But it's like, I mean, what are you gonna get this season? You know,
100%.
Kyle Lowry's is on an old expiring contract. He's old. He's gonna be done next season.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna be a good person to fit in. You're not gonna be able to be giving up that much, and he brings defense, like you said.
100%.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I don't know though, but yeah, let's get to another game. And I think again this game is going to go in a pair. The Lakers Wolves game, the Luka Doncic. I mean, obviously,
I just want to say, I called that shit.
he called that.
That's my MVP, bro.
That's his
my
MVP pick
my
from
MVP.
before the season started. I'm not gonna lie and say it's not. So obviously you called that. Luka combined for almost 50 points within his first 2 games. I mean, I'm sorry, not 50. Over almost 100 points in his first 2 games.
History right there.
That's unbelievable.
Dude,
Okay.
playing out of his mind, bro. Effortless. If you saw the game, he was playing at his own pace the entire time. No one was slowing him up, speeding him down.
Beating a fully healthy Timberwolves team
Beating
after
a
they
full
came
healthy-
off of
the playoff series that we have going last playoffs.
Yeah.
This was a complete revenge game. Obviously, Ant had a fantastic game going for 30.
Yeah.
But man, when you're Ant-Man, when you're Luka Doncic, dude, he's this year's MVP.
Yeah.
From the looks of it. And
Do you
no
think
one stopped
that-
man, bro?
Do you think that Luka Doncic can continue this volume of scoring and production?
No.
Obviously, the Lakers haven't given him much help so far this season as far as role players and starters. Underperforming like Rui, Austin Reeves. Shooting's hasn't been there.
Vincent.
Gabe Vincent, yeah.
Just gotta say it.
I gotta say
Alright,
it on
listen.
the pod. I gotta say it on the pod. Actually, this is a guy who predicted Gabe Vincent was gonna have a big year. His words, big year
Big
this year.
I thought he could potentially have a big year. It's game
I mean,
two. It's
game two. It's game two.
Let's relax.
Oh, game 1 was
It was pretty bad too.
it was a marathon in terms of 0-0-0-0-0. There were a lot of O's on that score. But all right, but that's yeah. But Yeah, I mean, another game.
I want to get into one game specifically. I think we need to talk about Wemby.
Oh my
Yes!
God!
What?
Well,
The actual freak.
When we talk about MVPs, my guy called it.
I called that.
He called that shit.
I said Wemby was gonna be the MVP this year, and I have him over Luka. Soon, not right now, but soon. I have him over Luka.
It's honestly, it's 1A, 1B.
It's 1A, 1B. It's 1A,
Because
1B.
what we're seeing from Wembanyama from the offensive side and the defensive
The
side,
best defender in the NBA.
in the league, bro, hands down.
Probably statistically per 48, the best defender of all time.
Dude, game 2, second game of the season, 9 blocks. Almost had a triple-double
And he
with
fouled out.
blocks, and he fouled out.
He fouled out.
Unbelievable.
It helps when you have an 8-foot wingspan.
Dude.
It does.
He's playing with kids out there.
Dude.
Obviously, we keep hearing the reports that he's grown. Dude, he looks taller.
He looks taller. He looks
way
stronger. He
bigger.
looks faster. His shot is good. I mean, he went 0 for 2 from 3, last night.
Yeah.
But I mean, his 3-point shot was looking great. His mid-range
shooting over anybody. He looks like the next KD.
Let's
bro.
not forget.
Better than KD.
Anthony
100%.
Davis is one of the best post defenders in the league, and he made him look like he was nothing.
Nothing. Just shooting over him like butter, bro.
It
It was unbelievable.
And I think they talked about on the first take, highest ceiling of all time.
But that, yeah.
Not a hot take at all, bro. Not a hot take at all. What we're seeing right now is greatness, man, from offensive side and defensive side. It's unbelievable.
The thing I'm most impressed with him is just for his size, his mobility, the way he moves, and it helps him so much, and it helps him finish effectively.
Plays like a guard, man. He
really
plays like a
does.
guard.
He's 100% from 1 foot away from the basket.
Dude.
And I just love guys who are ambidextrous.
Mm-hmm.
You know he is.
Dude, he's finished with both hands. He's
Both
just,
hands.
and I mean, working with Hakeem Olajuwon over the summer, there hasn't been a player that hasn't benefited from working with Hakeem Olajuwon.
The most interesting offseason of all time.
Yeah.
Most interesting offseason of all time.
Definitely.
What do you think he was doing in Asia? Like, because he did some sort of retreat, right?
Yeah.
What do you think was going on?
This is what I think.
Okay.
I think it has to do with heart rate.
Okay.
I think a lot of that meditating stuff is about controlling heart rate and being poised in like stressful situations, or even like,
Really?
yeah, that's what I think.
I think it's different.
Ooh,
I think it's mental.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Kung Fu and being around an Eastern kind of philosophy, I think he really tried to work on his mind a lot this season. Obviously, he went to not only Hakeem Olajuwon, but he also went to players like Kevin Garnett, who's very known for having a strong mental. And when they met this summer, that's all Victor Wembanyama was trying to talk to him about, was his mentality going into the game and how he goes into every game being tough and strong, like we know of KG.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I also think that his China conquest was also kind of in that same vein. You know, trying to clear his mental, trying to have a different approach to the game. You know, you see that from other NBA players too. Obviously, one of the biggest, well known, is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who cleared his mindset from Lou Alcindor and became Kareem.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, for me, I think you guys could both be potentially right, but I think the whole Asia trip was probably just about mindfulness.
Exactly.
And meditation. I think he was definitely doing a lot of that. It's been proven that meditation, like I'm a coach myself and we meditate before our games and have like a mindful minute. We actually use something called the Calm app where LeBron James, Jason Kidd, and Steve Nash have done segments on, and they really hype us up before a game.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you about that later. But yeah, no, I mean, who knows? But it is working.
But
whatever
whatever happened, it worked.
Keep that up.
And
Keep
you gotta
that up.
remember, he barely picked up a basketball this entire offseason.
Yeah, that's what I heard as well.
Yeah, the reports were that he was strictly just working on himself and on his body and everything like that, and it paid off.
It paid off.
It paid off.
All right.
So well.
One more game I do want to talk about,
Okay.
or one more team I really want to talk about. My New York Knicks.
I mean,
Okay, looking good. Okay, the offense is clicking way more than I thought it was gonna be clicking.
you know what? This offense is a very different New York Knicks offense.
Very different New
But-
York Knicks offense.
It's working.
It is
It's working.
great right now.
And not only that, Now, I love their offense, but we gotta talk about their defense.
Their defense is
Their defense has been stepping up this season.
Defensive depth.
Defensive depth, and it's crazy. You're even seeing defensive work from Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah.
Who, I like their new tradition that they're doing. They do a defensive player of the year, defensive player of the game, which I thought was very suiting for the New York Knicks, and I really, really like that kind of culture that they're bringing in.
Yeah.
But that being said, their defensive work has been fantastic this season.
Yeah.
Offensively, we thought Mike Brown, very offensive-minded coach, but we're seeing like a different kind of Knicks team. Obviously,
Yeah.
but obviously the standout players are still playing great. You see Jalen Brunson, and then you see Cat, both putting up high numbers. Obviously, first game wasn't really that well for Jalen Brunson, but second game picked it up again. Still looking great, man. Still a great New York Knicks team.
100%.
Yeah, when it comes to establishing culture, Mike Brown has always just been one of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
When he comes into a room, he's there. Very respected around the league. But yeah, when Josh Hart's fully back after this minutes restriction, the Knicks defense could end up being top 3 in the NBA this season.
Yeah.
And like to your point about us looking at Mike Brown as more an offensive coach, that's true, right? His time in Sacramento, we looked at him as an offensive coach. Let's not forget his time in Miami. Within his first 2 seasons, he makes them a top 3 or the best defense in the NBA.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for a lack of roster, that could be a championship on Mike Brown's resume as a head coach. But on both sides of the ball, the Knicks are looking so different and so great.
Yeah.
Super exciting to see, especially for me as a Knicks fan. But as far as games, those are the ones that I really want to go over. I'm trying to think of any other ones that were really big. Obviously, the Hawks, they went to a very close game with the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, I'll get into this.
Two teams that were, had made major moves during the offseason. Obviously, the Orlando Magic added Desmond Bane, the big signing for them. And then, obviously, the Atlanta Hawks adding Kristaps Porzingis, Nikhil Alexander. Obviously, Griffin, you can go on that.
Yeah, 100%. I've been very disappointed with Nikhil Alexander Walker so far this
very
season.
disappointing.
The shot selection is very concerning. He's not really sticking to what he's best at when it comes to just catch and shoot shooting, picking his spot, driving to the basket if the lane's open and there's no help, playing in transition, getting teammates involved. I've just seen a lot of poor shots. I really hope it gets better throughout the season. But Atlanta Hawks so far this season lost to the Toronto Raptors and beat the Magic on the road. Extremely fitting for us. Inconsistency and losing to bad teams has been a problem for us the past 5 seasons with Trey. But yeah, I think that Atlanta, if they can stay healthy, but they haven't been able to stay healthy so far. Jalen Johnson, I believe, has a finger injury. Kristaps has flu-like symptoms, which is concerning as it is. That gives me PTSD from the Celtics because I obviously want them to beat the Knicks. But yeah, I think the Hawks could have a serious health problem this season, and I just hope they can stay healthy because they're good. They're a good team.
They're a good team. I think Trae Young's coming back into the season looking great. I think he's picked up where he left off last season, still putting up numbers like he did last season, and I hope he still continues that. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting that you talk about Nikhil Alexander shot selection, because one thing to consider is he did decide, this was free agency in which he left, he did decide to leave the Timberwolves, possibly for maybe a promised better role with the Hawks, right? That's always something to consider when players sign different places.
Yeah.
And then Porzingis, the flu-like symptoms is super concerning, obviously, because it's time in Boston, and they never actually figured out what it was. They still don't know what that was.
They do actually know what it was.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they announced it last week. He was dealing with a condition called POTS, where you have uncontrollable heartbeat that's almost at 100, I believe 50 per minute, which is extremely high, and you can't control it. So your heartbeat's just constant, and like
per minute is not high, but go ahead.
Wait.
Dude, isn't like 90 average?
50.
No, I think it's
50 is you're in great health. That means you're Usain Bolt. Your cardiovascular system is really good. But it's a high heart rate.
Yeah, it's a high heart rate.
Regardless, there's bots.
Yeah, we can move on.
Yeah.
But I was just gonna say for Porzingis, if he is healthy in the playoffs, that's really what matters most. Like
100%.
you didn't really get him about. It wasn't
For
about
regular
the regular season. You know what I'm saying?
And I just want to say one thing before we move on. Nikhil Alexander-Walker has taken 15 threes this season and made 2.
Ooh, they shouldn't stay like that though.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's game 2, so he'll stop with Jazz. We'll see.
Yep.
All right, let's move on.
All right. I think we should get into some overpaid, underpaid, just right.
Let's do it.
And I just want to start off this segment by saying, because this is like, going. We're not saying by saying any of this that any of these players don't deserve what they get.
Yeah.
Okay. We all appreciate what they do, and for what they give me in terms of entertainment, they deserve more.
Yeah, we love the NBA, and
Yeah.
we love them that they're playing the game of basketball, and that's what we love.
We're just putting into context of comparing them to one another as hoopers, and comparing and contrast the contracts they get and what they're worth on the basketball floor. Nothing to do with how much. Never gonna say a man should get paid.
Yeah,
100%.
We hope they all get paid.
We can't stress enough, these guys are actual gods to us. If we were to meet these people, we would literally freeze up and not be able to speak. We love the NBA, and we mean no disrespect everyone was talking about it. All right,
100%.
this segment is called Overpaid, Underpaid, Just Right.
All right.
I'm going to give you a player, and you're going to tell me if you feel they're underpaid, overpaid, or they're making the correct amount of money.
Okay.
First, we're starting with Franz Wagner, Orlando Magic shooting guard forward. He signed a 5-year, $224 million contract last season. What do we think, boys?
Give me underpaid, man.
Really?
Yeah, give me underpaid.
5-year Sabian?
5 years, $224 million.
I'm going just right. That's where I'm going. I think that Franz is a hell of a player, right? But first of all, it's a massive contract to be getting. That's a what at this point in the NBA is probably like a second option on the team, which he is second option on that Orlando Magic's team. I think Paolo probably, if I had to guess, should be the highest paid player on that team. But Franz is giving them a good bang for your buck. He's a hell of a player, but that's a hell of a contract. So that's what I would say.
Man, I would say that he's underpaid, man. I think that what he brings you, and I feel like that throughout his years in Orlando, that we're going to see a lot of big improvement. I really have high hopes for Franz Wagner, man. Like, I think he's in that same development as like a Jokic, a Sengun, and then I feel like Franz plays the exact same way. His own pace, his own style, being able to facilitate. Obviously, not at the same level of shooting as the others, but still brings that versatility which you want on offense. Super sound, and I feel like he can only improve from here, and his game's always is going to develop more, and to a point where I think we could see him in several All-Star games. Even if we see him as the second option on the Orlando team, he's a fantastic second option that anybody would want on a team, man. Especially for the contract that he's getting, I would love that on my team. So yeah,
What do you think?
Yeah, 100%. I think just right. I'm going to go with Liam on this one. He's so versatile, and I don't think there's anything wrong with his contract whatsoever. He's one of the best drivers in the NBA when it comes to driving and finishing. He's one of the best. He's a great cutter, which is a very underrated aspect of your game in the NBA. His mid-range gauge is unbelievable. His patience when driving is also incredible. And his overall playmaking, they run through Franz more than they run through Paolo.
Yeah.
And the contract's just right for him. It's a lot of money.
I think he's just a player that like creates offense. When he comes down the court, their entire offense is very much centered on Franz.
Yeah.
Like he gets everybody like efficiently going, which I really love.
And to your
I feel
point,
like that's very impactful.
To your point, he reminds me of those other. I know he's listed as a shooting guard, small forward. To me, he's more of a 4-5, honestly.
I agree. No, I 100% agree.
I think that he really reminds me of Sabonis, man. The way he's able to play make from that big position.
Much more mobile, though, right?
Much more mobile.
Yeah.
Sabonis is pretty mobile, though.
Yeah, but
I mean, I think maybe crafty. Yeah, he's more crafty than.
Sabonis doesn't move like a guard, dude.
I don't think Franz moves like a guard.
Yes, he
No,
does.
he does not.
He does.
No, just
Are you
like-
being serious?
Yeah, I am. Are you kidding me?
Franz Wagner is an incredible ball handler.
So is Sabonis.
I don't think anyone would say Sabonis is known for his ball handling.
I don't think anyone would say that's for Franz.
I disagree with that.
I wouldn't say that either, if I'm being honest.
Franz Wagner.
We're talking about ball handling for big men.
Why are we saying Franz is a big man? Franz is not a big man.
So where would you play?
He's a 2-3. I said it.
I don't think he's a 2-3.
Dude, that's what he plays.
I know, but they also have a huge team. I think he's more of a. I think he's a. I'll go 3-4.
Franz
but
is
no way he's a 2.
Franz is regarded as one of the best drivers in the NBA.
He's a good driver.
I agree.
You know who he reminds me of? Manu Ginobili.
Oh my God! What the
What?
hell are you talking about right now?
What do you mean?
Manu Ginobili?
Why is that a bad comparison? I don't understand.
Manu Ginobili is a 2-3. Matt, Franz is not is a 4 who plays 3.
Does you remind me of a Sengun or of a Ginobili?
There's
Okay,
more
okay.
Sengun than Ginobili? That makes no sense. He's
Okay,
an
I'm gonna
actual
say that wasn't a good take because Manu was such a good shooter. But
Well, Franz is a good shooter.
No. Okay, Liam, he's had a lot of shooting struggles the past couple of seasons, especially from 3-point land.
Yeah.
But it's a part of his game he's worked on. Look at the numbers. Franz
What is
shot
his-
horrible from 3 last season.
I watched him in Euro. He was taking a few threes.
It's completely different. The ball's in FIBA, shooting is completely different.
Yeah,
it's a different distance and a different ball.
I'll say different.
Which is he's more used to because he is from Germany and that's the ball he's used to playing with.
Yeah.
All right, but go on. What were you saying?
Yeah, just as far as playmaking and driving ability, I think he's very similar to Manu. I don't think that's such a bad take. I understand Franz is a little bit of a bigger body, but I don't know why that was such a bad take. Why was it such a bad take?
No
I think
ways
just
Manu
like
Ginobili.
overall play style, I think they play very different.
But they both can
32%
finish
agree.
around the rim. That's what they're known for. That's what they're both.
Yeah, LeBron could also finish around the rim. He doesn't play like Franz Wagner.
Yeah. I think Manu Ginobili was a lot.
No, that's.
I don't know. I think Manu Ginobili was a lot more crafty.
Yeah,
than-
bro, they're
No,
both
but I
so
would say-
I
crafty.
said he's crafty.
That's what they're both crafty, Manu.
But
and
also, Kyrie is crafty, but Kyrie doesn't like. Ginobili doesn't make any sense to me. Franz is a way bigger body than Ginobili.
It's not way bigger. It might be 2 or 3 inches.
They play. Franz is
Manu
significantly
height.
slower than Manu Ginobili. Significantly.
Yeah, I also agree with that for sure.
What?
That
That they
Franz-
played at a totally different pace from each other.
I disagree. Let's move on to the next
Yeah,
one.
let's move on to the next one. That was a good one.
Next one, same contract, different player. We're moving to the East. Oh, they were both in the East. Sorry. Scotty Barnes, 5 years, $224 million. How do we feel about that deal?
Wait, can you repeat the contract again?
Same as Franz, 5 years, $224 million.
Okay.
Okay.
In respect to Franz, or in comparison to Franz, I think Franz is a better player than Scotty Barnes.
Interesting.
So I would say that I think the value that he holds the Toronto Raptors is similar because of his youth and his potential. But because Franz is a better player, I'm going to say that Scotty Barnes is overpaid. And that hurts to say.
I would have to say that Scotty Barnes is properly paid. I think he gets paid the good amount. I think what you get from Scotty Barnes, you understand what you get from him. You obviously get a player who can play not only offensively but defensively. Obviously from the perimeter, a very good defender. But he just we're getting to the point where I don't know. We haven't been seeing that much improvement from him over these past couple of years. Where we saw where we thought that he was probably going to be like more or less a franchise player, more like an all NBA type player. But over recently, I just haven't gotten that kind of spark to say that we can see Scotty Barnes as like an all NBA kind of player as opposed to other players. Maybe even a Franz Wagner, who I think has more potential to become that all NBA player as opposed to Scotty Barnes. So, but not to say that I still think that he's under a pretty good contract. What you get from Scotty Barnes is what you get from Scotty Barnes. But I think that's it. Like that's you understand what you do.
I agree with Kai here. I definitely think he's properly paid. Just from a production standpoint, he really gives you all. He's has elite versatility. He kind of has an elite and rare combination of length and his ability to kind of like rebound, play defense, run the floor, and facilitate. I think Scotty Barnes is properly paid, and his stats have gotten better every season, actually, surprisingly. But yeah, I think the Raptors haven't been too hot around him for the past couple seasons, which has hurt him. But I think they're gonna be. I think we talked about this personally, but I feel good about the Raptors this season.
Yeah. I don't know. I just other players he also need to step up too. I also will say someone like Brady Dick needs to step up. His last game, I think he only put up like single digit points. He needs to step up a lot more.
Also, from a physicality standpoint, at his position is kind of insane.
I mean, he's
Scotty Barnes?
Yeah. He's very strong.
He's built like the perfect NBA player. His body wise.
Was he matched up with Giannis the other night?
I believe so.
It's insane, bro.
I mean, Giannis is Giannis.
And his on and off ball defense is great.
Yeah. But
yeah. All right, next player.
Yep.
We're going to Keegan Murray. Now we're going to the West.
Ooh.
5 years, $140 million deal.
Ooh.
5 years, 140. Can you tell me what's that per year?
5 years, 140.
Oh,
That's a hard question.
that's a really hard question.
It's $28 million a year.
28 million a year.
I need to see his stats.
That's what I gotta see too.
I think last year was really a prove it year for Keegan Murray as well. You
Yeah,
know,
I
I mean,
think-
you always see,
Yeah.
you put a lot of high hopes. Obviously, Mike Brown has. Ever since Mike Brown's left, we've seen a very sharp decline in what Keegan Murray was supposed to be.
Yeah. With Keegan, though, you know what you're getting. You're getting great on-ball and perimeter defense, and you're getting a very good catch-and-shoot shooter.
Yeah.
But when it comes to ball handling, that's just not something he can do, and he's not someone who can play make. He cannot create his own shot.
Definitely not.
So is he worth $28 million a year for good defense and shooting ability? Because I know a lot of other good players who make a lot less money who are better than
Yeah.
Keegan
I
Murray.
know.
So
Honestly,
I'm gonna go with overpaid.
I also agree. I would also have to say overpaid as well. I think that you get what you get from him from defense, which is a very good defensive player. I would have to say. But ever since Mike Brown's left, I feel like Mike Brown put a lot of trust in Keegan Murray.
Yeah.
He was there to be the knockdown shooter and to be the player that has the potential to live up to high three-point shooting players in the league. But since he's left, that offense has completely changed. That half-court offense has looked completely different under new coaching, and I think that Keegan Murray has slipped from what we've seen from him from Mike Brown. Obviously, we know him as one of the best catch-and-shoot players in the NBA at one point, but now we only see him using half-court sets, something that we completely do not see from Keegan Murray from the past. And I don't know. I just don't think it works for him, man.
It's only catch and shoot. He can't shoot off the dribble at all,
Exactly.
especially from mid-range.
Yeah.
But catch and shoot three, that's what he does.
Yeah.
And good defense.
Yeah, and we just haven't been seeing that. So I would
But, I mean,
okay.
his efficiency from three is really good, and his attempts are really good. Like, he shoots 6 attempts on damn near 40%, which is hard to get, man. That's a valuable asset to have, man. And the defense, he's definitely. I'm thinking of someone who gets paid similar, like Austin Reeves, right? His contract's similar.
Yeah.
Austin Reeves is a way better player, though.
I agree.
Let me ask you guys something. So Keegan Murray, I would say, is a very similar case to guys like Cam Johnson and Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah.
I
agree.
But Michael Porter Jr. and Cam Thompson don't get they don't play defense. Their defense is below average.
Yeah, but they're also players that can create their own shot. I think Michael Porter Jr. can create a better shot, and Cam Johnson can also create their shot way better than Keegan Murray can. That's the difference.
That's true.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
All right, next player. Signed this offseason. Very, very surprising. Miles Turner, 4 years, $107 million to the Milwaukee Bucks. How do we feel about this deal?
4 years.
I'll tell you this. I think he was underpaid.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
4 years, 107 mil for one of the best big defenders in the league. Like, he was, last year he stepped up in terms of shooting, especially towards the end of the season. And you were basically going to have to pay for that in the offseason. The Milwaukee Bucks did not, bro. Yo, Miles Turner could have gone for way more than what does that average out to? Almost $26 million a year, $27 million a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's such a pick and pop threat. And his floor spacing is elite.
And he can drive to the basket well. Like, he's for a big, he has solid handle. There's so much. He's so versatile.
No, he really is.
Like,
Yeah,
he
for
is
sure.
one of the best rim protectors in the NBA.
One of the best rim protectors.
He's an
not only
elite
that,
shot blocker.
Yeah, he can also shoot as well. He can spread the floor. Like what he did for that Indiana team was.
He's part of the reason
amazing.
why the Milwaukee Bucks struggled so much against Indiana, and I'm shocked that they didn't value him higher because he was the reason they couldn't get past Indiana. But
And it's insane too because he's a guy who's obviously an elite rim protector, like we just said.
Yeah.
But his perimeter defense, for his size,
You're
a
watching the same guy.
7'4" wingspan on the perimeter.
yeah,
How are you supposed to shoot over that?
Why
It's
do
And
you-
unbelievable.
Keegan
Yeah.
Murray's getting paid higher than him, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's
It's really insane.
sad. That's extremely sad.
So we all agree he's
Underpaid.
underpaid.
He's definitely underpaid.
Yes.
That's a crazy contract.
Yeah.
I remember when I saw that and I thought and I was like, yo, the Pacers didn't match that. The Pacers were under the cap.
Yeah.
I would have matched that so quick, bro. I don't know.
All right, moving on to the next deal. Josh Giddey this offseason. Very, very late in the offseason. Very late.
This is actually a hard one though.
Josh Giddey, 4 years, $100 million, Chicago Bulls, starting point guard. How do we feel about this deal?
Oh my god, bro.
We know he brings exceptional court vision.
Yeah.
His passing ability is top 10 in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, is an inconsistent scorer and defender.
Yeah.
But
can't
at
really
his
shoot.
peak, Josh Giddey is a very, very good player.
I mean, what we saw last season, obviously beginning of the season, the Chicago Bulls looked really, really bad. Like I thought this trade was gonna be just like another trade, but at the end of the season, what we saw from Josh Giddey was someone who can actually lead a team. You know, his core vision, like you said, got a lot better. He was leading this offense really well, and he was dishing out. And I may say, even at the end of the season, his shot got better. And
Which has been his
obviously,
biggest thing.
yeah, which was his biggest thing. And obviously, like $25 million a year. Obviously, we only see a little glimpse of what the potential of what Josh Giddey could be.
100%.
But you know, with that contract, they believe that Josh Giddey could be a lot more than that little glimpse of that we saw.
Another reason I feel like he is underpaid
Ooh, okay.
is because he's very strong rebound to pass threat. As soon as he gets the alley,
It's straight downhill.
you on defense you have to get back playing Josh Giddey.
Yeah,
he's
I
such
agree.
a threat as far as facilitating. I mean, we use the word facilitate a lot, me specifically, but that's just what he is.
No, 100%.
But I think you said he was a top 10 passer in the league.
Because he's an ambidextrous passer.
Yeah.
If you look at, if I'm just thinking transition threat, he might be a top 5 transition threat in the league. That's like,
Definitely.
Yeah,
I would
100%.
His trips to the free throw line have increased every season he's been in the NBA.
Yeah.
I think though the overlying word that sticks with me about Josh Giddey is inconsistent. Right? There are nights where Josh Giddey looks like, bro, he's the second coming of Luka Doncic, and then there's nights where he looks like, I don't know, he just can't score the ball and is just being too passive in ways.
Yeah, no, that's.
But when he's not scoring, he's always producing as far as rebounding and assists.
And don't get me wrong, Josh Giddey's also a pretty good defender as well. We undermine that he's a
Inconsistent
very,
defender,
but perimeter defense wise, I think he's up there with one of the better perimeter defenders in the league.
He's got
I would
size.
disagree with
He
that.
also got size. Yeah, it was 6'5" as a point guard.
Yeah,
That's very
he
good.
can guard up.
Yeah,
He really
for
can.
sure.
All right. Last contract.
Oh wait, can I just say this real quick?
Yep.
Who do you think should get paid more, Derek White or Josh Giddey?
Derek White. What the,
Derek White,
what the
yeah.
hell? Hell no.
What is Josh?
But- no.
Stats wise, aren't they pretty similar?
Oh
Yeah,
yes,
but-
Josh
but-
Giddey's stats are better, but again, it's a different role, it's a different team.
Okay.
You gotta
Yeah,
understand.
I'm glad.
Yeah,
You gotta think. Like,
But
second
also
option leading
with
to-
Josh Giddey, if the Bulls can sign a couple good players and just build on what they're building with Kobe White, Josh Giddey, Matas Buzelas. I think there could be a threat in the East moving forward. They just need to their GM needs to cook. The GM needs to cook.
That's the problem. You said the key word though. You said the key word.
I like their core pieces though. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I like their core pieces. I think they could be like a scary bottom team in the East.
But that's the thing. They have one of the worst GMs in the league, bro. This is a team that doesn't.
It's Dunleavy. Oh, it's not Dunleavy. It's who is it? Oh, we should know this.
But this is a team that doesn't make moves in the offseason at all.
You're right, bro.
This is a team that doesn't care about his team.
It's Mark Eversley.
But yeah, dude, this team just doesn't make any moves. It is content with what it is, and
They haven't done shit.
They haven't done anything.
And let's remember, they're Chicago. That's one of the biggest
franchises.
cities. Yeah.
Let's be real, they haven't been good in a really long time.
Yeah, because
they haven't. When I say good, I mean good.
Yeah.
They haven't been good since they were
because their standard
since 2015.
Their standard is mediocrity. That's what it is. They do not care to make big swings in the NBA. They don't try to make their team any better by any means necessary. And it's super unfortunate because they get they get good players from time to time, but they never make really big swings.
Their jerseys are so tough. Like any player that's good and has a Bulls jersey, like it looks good.
Yeah.
But there's been no player that you can
Like it's such an iconic franchise that you want it to be successful, but it's like a Miami Heat team that just never left and just stayed mediocre its entire time. It is so unfortunate. It's so sad.
I'm very high on Matas Buzelas though. If he can improve that shot, he can be extremely dangerous.
He's good and he's young. I mean, it's always good. What pick was he?
He was, I believe he was top 10, right?
Yeah, I think he was lottery, right?
Yeah, he was definitely lottery.
No, he was lottery.
100% lottery.
Yeah.
I think he was 7. No.
But he's good. Let's get to another player.
Another thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Or another player.
Another player.
Okay. Last player we're gonna do for this segment is Aaron Gordon. 4 years, $133 million.
Wow.
This is easy.
Things have changed.
This is easy.
As of recently.
And by the way, he is coming off a 50-pointer, off 17-21 shooting, 9 from 11 from 3.
Yeah, 90% from 3, bro.
One of the most efficient 50-point games in NBA history. I think he's underpaid. How do you guys feel?
Dude, after that game, I think there's only one thing you can say. Is that he's underpaid, bro. He's underpaid. I think he's also another player that's really good. He's also a really good defender. I think that obviously he can create his own shot. He's dangerous from inside and out. And I think he's a perfect plug-in player for the Denver Nuggets. But not only that, I think he's been getting better every single year, even with the Magic. Well, we saw potential coming out of him. And now we're just seeing the unleashment of what Aaron Gordon truly is. I think he's starting to get his prime, his groove, and I feel like he's getting underpaid for his contract right now.
Yeah, and I can't agree more with all those takes. I don't know when Aaron Gordon did sign that deal, but he was the biggest move Denver made to make them a championship team when they were able to trade for him from the Orlando Magic. His value, even in last year's playoffs, where there were times where he looked like their second best player, obviously behind Jokic, but Jamal Murray played great. I'm not going to take anything away, but Aaron Gordon looked like their second best player.
I mean, you got to think about it. 2 game winners in that playoff run.
Yeah. And
insane!
Denver is not nearly the threat they are without him. He can play a significant role on so many other teams. He's easily one of the most underrated players in the league right now.
100%. I think he's the true definition of a glue guy.
You're so right, man. You're so right.
His offensive rebound and leaping ability alone is just unbelievable. His shooting has improved drastically every season. He knows his role. He knows his position. His finishing's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Underpaid. This guy's unbelievable.
Underpaid.
And I'm excited to see
what he gets.
he can show all-star numbers this season.
I'm excited.
Oh wow, that's the standard that you held for him.
I do.
Wow. You know what?
Coming into this season,
That's not a hot take. That's not a hot take.
Jamal Murray has never made an all-star team.
Yep.
Do you see?
It's crazy because
You
we're
see
about
Aaron
to get
Gordon?
into another conversation with Jamal Murray.
Okay.
Should we move on?
Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
So, our next segment,
Oh my god.
we're going to talk
forgot
about
about that.
active players in the NBA who are certified Hall of Famers. So, I'm going to name a player, and we're going to talk about if we think they are a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
Hall of Famer
And
or
let's-
not.
Hall of Famer or not?
Alright, let's do it. Hall of
All
Fame.
right, first player, let's go right into it. Jamal Murray.
Woo!
Never made an All-Star team, but was a crucial part of Nuggets championship title run. Arguably, was their most important piece. Do we think he has a Hall of Fame resume right now?
Give me no.
Ooh.
Give me no. Obviously, we understand what he gives you in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Obviously, top 10 playoff performer in the NBA, regardless.
Yeah.
But resume-wise, it's underwhelming. It's very underwhelming when you consider the Hall of Fame standard. Obviously, great player. I think the best we see from him is a retired jersey at this moment. But not to say he doesn't have the potential.
If he were to make the Hall of Fame, he would be the first player to have no All-NBAs and no All-Stars.
You see, that's a big problem in my opinion. You have to bring it on both sides. Obviously, Jokic is Jokic. He's certified one of the best players of all time. But you got to do it. You got to do it also in the regular season too. You can't just. Obviously, playoffs are super important, and I have that in high regard. But I also think the regular season matters. Regular season performance also matters throughout a whole season. And what we see from Jamal Murray during the regular season is an average player to maybe even a little bit above average player.
He's a good regular season player, guys.
He's a good regular season player, but he's not a Hall of Fame player in the regular season.
100%.
You would never say that about him.
I'm gonna go with no as well.
Okay.
I think eventually, if he is a crucial part of another Nuggets title run and they win a ring, I think he will be the first NBA player ever with no All-Stars, no All-NBAs to be a Hall of Famer.
Really?
I think
If he gets another ring.
This is what I think. I think he's a good enough player to be in the Hall of Fame. It's the resume
It's the resume.
that really is what's hurting him. I think I agree with both of you guys. I don't think as of right now, he retires today, he's a Hall of Famer. I think one of the biggest accomplishments of Jokic's career is that it's not to say that one guy is good so the other guy has to be bad, but it's that he's never really played with elite caliber guys. Now, Jamal Murray is a really, 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 really good player, but there's a tier above Jamal Murray that I think LeBron has been able to play with, and Dwayne Wade and Anthony Davis. Jordan was able to play with, and Scottie Pippen. I don't know if Jamal Murray's in that category, and that's why it's so important for his resume to be up there when it's his time.
But when you think about it though, on that same vein, you could argue that Jamal Murray has played just as good as any secondary of all time.
In the playoffs,
In the playoffs, he plays.
yes,
You can argue he plays. He's played better than any LeBron James teammate in the playoffs. When it includes Dwayne Wade, when you include Kyrie Irving, all of them, you can argue that Jamal Murray plays at the same level, if not better,
than they do in the playoffs.
Than they do in the playoffs.
You also got to understand, in a clutch situation, the Nuggets go to Jamal Murray.
A
If
lot.
they need a big shot, there is not a better shot creator in the final 10 seconds of a basketball game in the NBA
Yeah.
than Jamal Murray.
Yeah, his pull-up jumper at late situations.
That's
is,
a really hot take. That's
Dude.
a hot take, but I can't. It's
can't-
It's a valid take.
dude.
We've seen it the past couple
Over.
seasons,
Yeah.
especially in the playoffs.
Especially in the playoffs.
Over and over and over again. Like, it's not like it's a one-time thing.
No.
This is something that we consistently see out of Jamal Murray, and that's why we're even having this conversation about him.
Yeah, for sure. We'll never discredit who Jamal Murray is.
Do you remember in the West?
player.
Sorry. Do you remember in the Western Conference Finals when they were playing the Lakers and Jamal hit that game winner on AD?
I think LeBron comes down, hits a game time three or something,
Yeah.
and then Jamal Murray comes down the very next play, hits a fadeaway midi
Un-
Over AD.
Anthony Davis off the switch.
Unbelievable, bro.
I mean, oh my God, bro, that is it was
not only that, this has been a consistent thing throughout the years. Since we've been seeing this from him since the bubble years.
Yeah.
And to see him come from this 5 years later, it really shows a testament to who he really is as a player, man. Like, when the games are important, he shows up.
Bubble Jamal Murray?
Bubble Jamal Murray?
Oh,
Come on!
Stop playing with
Come
us.
on!
There's only one player better, and his name was TJ Warren.
I don't know about
Yeah.
that. I don't know about
I don't know about that.
It wouldn't matter. Like, he was a ghost.
Yeah.
But, nonetheless, let's move on.
Moving on to the next player. I'm going to start with this one.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
The Wall, Brook Lopez.
Oh.
Now, listen.
love
I
it.
understand that it's a low probability that he will make the Hall of Fame. However, I think he is a Hall of Famer.
What?
He's the only player.
Hell.
Listen.
All right.
He's the only player in NBA history with 1,700 blocks and 700 three-pointers made. He is two-time All-Defensive Team. He was a huge part of the 2021 Bucks title run. And he's the franchise leader for the Nets in points scored. Now, if that doesn't scream Hall of Fame, then what are we even talking about?
To me, it doesn't scream Hall of
Yeah,
Fame.
to me, it does not scream Hall of Fame, man. We look at this brand new Brooklyn Nets team, and it's like, I don't think Brook Lopez was ever the leader of the Brooklyn Nets.
He also might have played the most games in a Brooklyn jersey too, like
Yeah.
or in a Nets jersey because it wasn't just Brooklyn. He played in New Jersey Nets as well.
Yeah.
I
I think longevity has to do with it, but I also don't think that he's ever been. The max he's ever been in his NBA career was a second option.
Ooh, Brooklyn he was the first.
That's
option.
not true.
And then Nets he was the first option.
He was the best
I
player
think that
in the Nets for a long
you
time.
looked at Darren Williams as a better player than him.
Stop.
during that time.
Oh no! That's right.
Not
actually.
that year.
Yes.
No.
No, every-
First of all, Darren Williams signed with the Nets after Brook Lopez.
Dude, everyone saw Darren Williams as the next coming as Chris Paul,
Yeah, they
the
did.
next Isaiah Thomas. He was that guy.
But Brook Lopez
Brook
was the
Lopez.
first option at one point on the
Yes,
Nets.
100%.
Before Darren Williams was even there.
But do you regard that time as anything significant? As anything Hall of Fame like?
No, but I will say people were talking about in 2011. People were talking about LeBron teaming up with Brook Lopez in New Jersey.
Yeah, but that wasn't a serious conversation. Come on, that was a joke. All right, that's
Okay.
all that shit was.
Yeah.
That was never a serious conversation.
I just think from a statistical standpoint, for Brook Lopez, it looks really good.
I
He
think
was just a
I don't know.
solid player. I think, like I said, the same with Jamal Murray. He is someone that you retire his number. It's a great
Brook
feeling.
Lopez was regarded as a top 5 big at one point in the NBA.
I agree.
That's also
but
true.
That was also a short period of time, and
It was at least 6 or 7 years now. He was really, really good for a long time.
I think he was consistent.
Brook Lopez, but he. Even in his prime, he wasn't considered a top 10 player in this league.
No, never.
Fair.
Not once.
And as regards to the Milwaukee run, like he was a sixth option on that team.
Because I look at.
Maybe.
Whoa! No.
But-
He was so big for them.
But I also
for
look-
defense.
Who was big? But think about all
I
the
would say
players that were
Giannis,
big.
obviously.
Giannis,
Middleton, Holiday, then Brook.
No,
Yeah.
Portis was bigger.
No.
Portis was bigger. 100%.
No, just because of the defense. The defense.
No, Portis was a bigger.
He was a way. Oh no! Actually, I have to give it to Brook Lopez on that one.
Thank you.
But
Bro.
I think it's a little bit closer than people think. But I also think that he's also a good defender and a good shooter.
Yeah, great shooter.
Great shooter.
Let's move on to another player who was never a top 10 player in the league, but I believe has a Hall of Fame resume.
Ooh.
Drew Holiday.
Damn, bro! You should have brought that up when I was talking about Brook Lopez, because that would have, whoo! Drew Holiday's no doubt about it. That guy's a Hall of Famer. Okay.
He's way more accomplished than Brook Lopez.
And
way more
this is what I always go back to, right? I said this the other day to you guys, but a Hall of Fame career to me is a guy that you can't tell the story of basketball without. And Drew Holiday, you cannot tell the story of the NBA, let alone basketball, without Drew Holiday. He is, you could argue, but he's probably the best perimeter defender we've ever seen. He is the guy that invented the way we play defense today in terms of the way we move our hips, right? How we cover ball screens with small guards at the top. But his his stake in championship rosters, right? His stake in that Milwaukee Bucks team. He was their third best player, right? This Boston Celtics, you can argue whether he was the third or fourth best player, one of the greatest teams of all time, but he was such a staple in what they did, such an upgrade from what they got from Marcus Smart, who just previously won Defensive Player of the Year. So to think about that is on another level. He has to be in that he is a Hall of Famer in my eyes.
Drew Holiday is a 2-time NBA champion, 2-time All-Star, 3-time All-Defensive First Team, 3-time All-Defensive Second Team, Olympic gold medalist, 16 points a game, 4 rebounds, 6.5 assists a game through his entire career.
I'll drink to that.
I believe Drew Holiday's
I think resume-wise, that's a Hall of Fame career.
Yeah.
All right.
100% agree.
We're all in agreement on that. Next player. We're going to go to DeMar DeRozan. How do we feel about DeMar DeRozan?
Bro, these are such good ones, man. These are such good ones.
Off the dome, man. Off the dome, I made these.
This is so hard, bro. Because DeMar is the opposite of Drew Holiday. He's a guy who,
All the stats are there.
all the stats are there. The way he played is there.
But the resume is non-existent.
Yeah.
Does not exist. There's not one accomplishment that you can write down, one trophy, one anything. What do you think of DeMar DeRozan? But what you know him as is one of the most consistent and best players on the court.
So I wrote this out. I do think he will get in, but he's kind of the poster boy for Hall of Very Good.
Very much.
There was a time in the NBA you could say he was top 3 at his position. He made a bunch of All-Star games.
You said there's never a time?
No. But
I gotta think back to that time, like that 2016 to
2017, 2018, he wasn't top 2 shooting guard.
But he made those All-Star teams because of points per game, and he's always been a really good scorer. He's got an Olympic medal. He has some All-NBA selections for sure. And his impact has always been big on both sides of the ball. And he's arguably the greatest mid-range shooter ever.
That's also a very true point.
Let me ask you something. Is that something that is huge for the Hall of Fame? Being the best. I feel like that it helps your case.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is...
It's not the Hall of Fame of the NBA. It's Hall of Fame of basketball.
Right.
Right. So that is, I think, to me, it's significant. But I have a really interesting question. In terms of player, I'm not talking about resume. I'm not talking about accomplishments. In terms of player, who's a better player, DeMar DeRozan or Klay Thompson? I think that's a good question.
I think that is a very
It's
good
not a
question.
bad question.
But
Listen,
I would have to say Klay. I would have to say Klay. I think obviously he was a number 2 option on his team, and obviously one of the best number 2 options on his team. But when you look at statistically,
we know that he had Steph Curry,
Yeah.
one of the greatest players of all time, which that is something that DeMar DeRozan didn't have.
Yeah.
He had to create his own shots, and what Klay facilitated with Curry is something magical and obviously Hall of Fame resume worthy.
Yeah.
But I also have to say that Klay Thompson brings more impact than what DeMar DeRozan did.
You can argue, I think, that DeMar DeRozan is a better all-around basketball player, but there is we're forgetting about prime Klay.
Yeah.
He was one of the best defenders at his position at a certain point.
100%.
Agreed.
He's one of the greatest shooters of all time.
Yep.
Those are not something DeMar DeRozan has that he can back up. He doesn't have anything like that he can hold his head on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Klay's prime is one of the single greatest shooting people we've ever seen in our lifetime. Obviously, we understand that DeMar DeRozan is one of the best mid-range shooters. Probably, arguably one of the best mid-range shooters of all time.
100%.
But you can also argue that Klay is one of the best three-point shooters of all time, which
is a more valuable trade.
If we count the numbers, 3 is better than 2.
Right, 3's greater than 2.
3 greater than 2.
No lie.
No lie there.
I also think the longevity helps DeMar a lot.
Yeah.
That's another thing though, because Klay is clearly past his prime. DeMar is still putting up great numbers even today.
100%.
And he's always been at least second option on his team, never below that. And one thing I got to shout out DeMar for is first half of the season, DeMar, since his time in Toronto has always been buckets, bro.
Dude, yeah, his Chicago days when he was with
Yo.
Chicago, they were the #1 seed. People forget about
Yeah.
this. They
First
were,
half of the season, DeMar was something different,
dude,
man.
he was amazing on the Bulls, man. People
Top
were like,
3 finisher and MVP first half of the season.
yes,
Multiple years,
exactly,
for sure.
for sure. Obviously, those dips.
I will never forget that year. I think it was his first year on the Bulls where he hit an insane amount of game winners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there was actually back-to-back game winners.
And I think they were all in the first half of the
Dude,
season.
he was looked at as the MVP frontrunner.
Yeah.
100% for many weeks.
Yeah.
Dude, he was good, man. But let's get on to the next person.
Yeah, let's do it.
Next player went to the finals last year. Pascal Siakam. And by the way, I think we're all in agreement that Pascal Siakam is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And his
Fantastic.
improvement every year. He adds an aspect to his game every year.
You
It's
can argue,
insane.
you can argue that he's had 2 careers. One with Indy, and then one with Toronto.
Yeah.
Who, what we're seeing right now, both fantastic players.
Yeah.
Obviously, the second best player on the Toronto team.
Ooh. But who won Eastern Conference MVP?
Obviously, we know who the best player was.
Who's that?
But we're arguing the second best player on that team. And then now with Indy, you can argue the first. That took you to the finals.
100% the first.
And when you look at it, that's 2 different. That's 2 fantastic.
He has a
careers.
finals run as a first option.
Yep.
He has a championship.
Mhm.
He has. I mean, he was the best player in Toronto after
After Kawhi left,
after Kawhi.
no
left.
doubt about it.
And in the NBA 2019 NBA Finals, where they won the championship, he averaged 20 points, 8 rebounds,
That's-
and 4 assists.
Absolutely. You gotta keep in mind that they were playing against one of the greatest teams of all time.
That's true, man.
And they beat them.
Yeah.
And he was the second best player on that team.
Yeah, that's a fact,
That's
bro.
unbelievable.
But is that Hall of Fame?
I believe so, man. I believe so. A team that is able to beat that Warriors team is a Hall of Fame worthy player, especially if the second best
Second
player.
option.
And not only that, you're still doing it. I think that he not only does he have that same career resume,
Okay,
he
but
improves
Jamal-
on that throughout the years.
Hey, wait, how many All Stars does Pascal?
He has 3 All-Stars and 1
Come
Most
on.
Improved Player.
If we're saying that Drew Holiday is a Hall of Famer, I think we have to put Siakam as also a Hall of Famer.
Okay, I like that. I
Because
do like
not
that.
only is like
Drew Holiday's, yeah. Pascal Siakam is,
Dude.
his career is insane.
come on,
3 All Stars too, like that's
3 All-Stars too?
That's regular season stats as well.
dude. So I'm putting Siakam in the Hall of Fame.
And the finals run last year.
And the finals
the
run.
finals run last year
Dude,
is just
Anytime that
iconic.
Siakam's in the playoffs, he plays fantastic.
Yeah, you're right.
So yeah, give me Siakam Hall of Fame hands down. Easy.
And I think by the end of his career, his resume will even be stronger.
I 100%.
Which
Yeah,
will help him.
no doubt about it. No doubt about
But again, that's only going to be more statistical.
it. Yeah.
Like that's
But-
gonna bump it. You know?
Exactly. With stats included, and then his resume at the moment right now,
He can
I
get a little
think.
bit of resume, but he has to leave in Indiana, low key, man.
But hey, I think he's doing a pretty good.
I think
Good thing I
even
am right now.
going far in the playoffs helps your resume.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
To me, a finals run is huge. That
So-
is so hard to do.
Yeah.
Moving on, a guy who has plenty of finals run. Do we think Jimmy Butler is an NBA Hall of Famer?
No doubt about it.
Yeah,
There's no doubt about it in my mind. He is a certified Hall of Famer. He's the definition of a team elevator. Like he makes your team better wherever he goes. He took like a mediocre Miami Heat team to the finals twice. 3 ECFs.
Yeah.
Dude. Not only with that team, not only that Miami team, he took it with the Timberwolves, the Sixers, which that was arguably one of the biggest defeats of a team in NBA
Dude,
history.
that team
was
easily
loaded.
could have won the NBA Finals.
Yeah,
Oh my
but and
God.
who?
Think about
And,
how much the NBA would have
yeah.
changed.
and during that playoffs, who was the best player on that team?
Jimmy
It
Butler.
was not Joel Embiid.
Jimmy Butler.
It was Jimmy Butler.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It was definitely Jimmy Butler. And you obviously have to look at his Chicago Bulls years.
Definitely.
He was one of the best players in the league
most improved
on the
player.
Bulls.
Yeah, on the
Most
Bulls.
improved player during that time.
100%.
Every single team, obviously, we're going to mention Timberwolves as well, which was obviously a little tragic of an ending, but we still look at those years as he was the best player on that team as well.
If I remember correctly, he brought them to their first playoffs since Garnett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Everywhere he goes, he elevates teams. Obviously, we see him now on the Golden State Warriors. Little rocky, but from what we've seen from him his entire career,
He's already
as a
done
Hall
what
of
he
Fame.
needs to do.
He's created a Hall of Fame career. If you put a player like Reggie Miller in the Hall of Fame, you put Jimmy Butler in seconds.
Ooh, yeah. You're right. Damn, bro, I love Reggie though.
Yeah, I love Reggie Miller too. I mean,
deserving.
They're deserving of the Hall of Fame, but Jimmy Butler has had a better career than Reggie Miller.
Jimmy Butler was obviously an elite defensive player, an exceptional playoff performer, and has one of the higher basketball IQs we've seen.
100%.
You got any more players?
I got one more.
Okay, let's hear it.
And I think we're all in agreement of yes. I just want to add this name in case anyone had a different opinion, but Kevin Love.
Oh, that's a good question.
Is Kevin Love a Hall of Famer? He's got a lot of All-Stars.
I'm going yes, bro.
Yeah.
But I can hear the argument for no, and I couldn't really argue with it.
Yeah, I think no.
Really?
I think no. I think that his career peaked very early.
It did, man.
But that's not his fault.
That's not his fault, but obviously we all thought that Kevin Love going to the Cavs was supposed to be the next exceptional elevator, like to the point, like to the Chris Bosh point.
Yeah,
where
the
you thought
Cavs
that,
gave up a number one pick.
Yeah, they gave up a number.
Do you think Chris Bosh is better than Kevin Love?
I think so.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I think on that caliber, you thought he was going to be that exceptional third option that we were all going to be astounded by. But from Cavs and on, you can't really say that he was ever like a top player.
Yeah, I mean.
Wait. What'd you say?
From the Cavs and on, you can't really say that Kevin Love was a top player in the league, top power forward in the league.
Yeah.
That's not true.
Yeah, you can.
In his beginning years, he was a top 3 power forward.
That's exactly what I said. I did not say that.
Said,
I said from Cavs and on, he was not a top power forward in the league.
Like the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kevin Love of the Timberwolves was one of the best power forwards in the league.
One of the best players.
One of the best players in the league.
Yeah.
His 3-point shot was absolutely elite. But from that point on, he was a mediocre power forward.
No, he wasn't.
Come on,
He wasn't mediocre.
You're
bro.
on the Cavs,
On the
bro.
Cavs?
He did not live up to what people thought he was going to be.
Hell no.
Bro, he wasn't mediocre though.
All right, he was
What do you
mediocre.
mean
He was
mediocre?
above average, but he wasn't
He was
superstar.
slightly-
He wasn't like he was on Timberwolves.
He was
wasn't a
slightly
superstar.
above average. He wasn't a great defender his entire career, even with the Timberwolves.
You can argue that he was never a superstar on the Cavs. Superstar.
He was never a superstar with the
Never
Cavs.
superstar, yeah.
Hell
With the-
no.
Wait, are you saying with the Timberwolves or the Cavs?
I'm saying with the Cavs.
Yeah.
We understand
No doubt,
that
bro.
LeBron James' team was never really reliant on Kevin Love. Ever. We know him for one play, and that was guarding Steph Curry in the finals. And that is it.
But
We never know for anything.
Nah.
Obviously, great possession. We love that.
Yeah.
But you would never understand him as anything else. He's not. Like,
Listen.
his entire career, like, even his Timberwolves career has been foreshadowed by the other 70% of his career.
Yeah, 100%. I think him not having much success with, I don't think they made the playoffs with Kevin Love.
Hell no, he could
didn't.
never lead.
No.
He was never a leader for
But
any team.
this is a guy.
He hasn't.
This is a guy who's a champion, a 2-time gold medalist, and a 5-time All-Star. He is a Hall of Famer.
No.
I agree. He's a Hall of Famer
I
as well.
disagree,
The
bro.
the longest double streak in NBA history. Like
right.
you said, he's an NBA champion, third option on that team, right? Same as Drew Holiday on his teams, right? Kevin Love, bro, like, even though he wasn't what we lived up to be, he was a super reliable third option for the Cleveland
Bro,
Cavaliers.
you thought he was reliable?
Reliable, yes.
Yeah.
Hell no.
For
Bro.
free?
Dude,
Was he inconsistent?
bro, he was super injury prone. He was barely out on the court sometimes.
Okay.
He missed the entire 2015 playoff run.
Yeah, because what happened, Kelly Olynyk literally yanked his arm out of his arm socket. That's not Kevin Love
And then,
being unreliable.
and then we saw 2016, right? And then from that point on, never seen him ever again.
What? 2018,
Was he the third best player on any other?
2018, he was the second best player on the Cavs.
That don't mean shit. He was garbage. That entire
No, he
team
was not, bro. He was reliable,
that
bro.
entire team was trash.
That
We
team-
know that team for having LeBron James. That you cannot name any other player that was good on that team besides LeBron James. Everyone else was
All right.
absolute dog.
He was the second option on a finals run team.
That don't mean shit. You gotta put context to it. You were never like, I rely on Kevin Love to make that shot. Hell no. What are we talking about?
And I'll say this that goes against Kevin Love. He had 17.6 points a game in 2019-2020. After that, the highest he ever had was 13.
Dude.
Okay,
that
okay,
is not.
but that's not what we're judging his career on. We're judging it on Minnesota and Cavs. That's it.
So how long was he on Minnesota for?
He was on Minnesota.
I'm gonna guess.
6
Wait,
years.
I was gonna guess 5.
Dude.
Think about how good he was on Minnesota. The double doubles that he would produce, bro, and he still won an NBA championship as a third option.
Dude, but was he? What has he ever led? I think to be a Hall of Famer, you have to be a leading player on a team. He's never been a leading player.
Draymond Green.
Huh?
Draymond Green's Hall of Fame.
That's a
different.
anomaly, bro. That's an accomplished player.
Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman.
That's
That's an accomplished player. Dude, you're putting up DPOYs. Kevin Love can never be on that type of level.
Kevin Love or Reggie Miller?
Huh?
Kevin Love or Reggie Miller?
Reggie Miller all day. What are we
Prime
talking?
Kevin Love, bro.
Prime Reggie Miller that had longevity.
What was Reggie Miller really putting up? What was his stats? I don't think Reggie was averaging.
Can I say something?
I
think Kevin Love is in that Paul George category we've been talking about.
Nah, Paul George is worse than Kevin Love, bro.
I think Kevin Love is worse.
What?
What? Hell yes!
Yes.
Kevin Love is worse than Paul George.
Yeah, 100%.
What are we talking
Paul
about?
George can never.
Hell yeah!
No,
I agree.
I disagree.
What?
Nah.
What?
Bro, Paul George could never be a third option on a championship team, bro. Paul George has shrunk in every moment. Kevin Love has been nothing but consistent. Paul George has been nothing but inconsistent. Okay.
There's not one moment you can think of that Kevin Love has ever done but one, and that is one finals play. And
Kevin Love has
it.
always been efficient. He's always been reliable.
He may be reliable?
Yes.
Hell no!
What mean efficient? Not efficient, reliable. That's what he is. That's his staple thing, and that's the opposite for Paul George. Plus, Paul George has never really done anything. Kevin Love is an NBA champion.
Yo,
Double machine. One of the best three-point shooters in the league, especially at his position. Paul George. What has Paul George done but disappoint? Kevin Love has not disappointed.
he has led way more teams to any other success than Kevin Love could ever dream of.
What's success? Give me one team and their success with Paul George. Paul George's best season was losing to Damian Lillard in the first round and Damian waving goodbye to him. That was his best season in the NBA.
Are we not going to talk about the Pacers? Where they made the ECF? What are we talking about here?
All right.
What are we saying?
Okay, but statistically-
Kevin Love could never even make the fucking playoffs with the Timberwolves.
He was
Stop
in the
it.
Western Conference. He was in the Western Conference.
That don't mean shit.
Name one other player on that Timberwolves team. One other player.
Bro, that don't matter. What we're talking about, playing people who could lead, right?
I can
Paul
name-
George
I
can
can-
lead way more.
I can name
Paul
I can
George
name
can lead
that
way
whole
more.
Pacers starting line.
Oh my God, stop
name the whole
it.
Pacers starting
One thing
line.
you gotta understand, that T-Wolf team was dog.
Yo,
Oh.
but no, it was dog. It was dog.
Dog.
But to be
Who's the second best player? Ricky Rubio?
No, to be it
Rubio.
was. But to be a Hall of Famer, you have to be someone who leads, right? Who leads people to
They didn't
Not
give him
necessarily.
They didn't give
Klay
him a
Thompson. Klay Thompson's gonna be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, but he didn't lead to.
He never led anything. He never led anything.
But that's a completely different kind of resume. What are we talking about here?
I don't think the value is much different in what Klay Thompson was providing to what Kevin Love was providing in 2016.
Klay Thompson was a second option. Dude, Kevin Love was barely a third.
Wait, but time out. Kevin Love was one of the best rebounders in the NBA for most of his career.
What about defending? Crickets, bro. He was never like that. He was never like that.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Get the fuck out of here.
He's a
Hell
Hall of
no. Never. I
I'm
refuse to
giving
do
it.
that.
I'm giving Kevin Love.
Hell no.
All right, all right.
Alright,
Do you have another one, or I think
I think we're ready to move on.
Okay.
I like you said it was a throwaway, and we got the.
Yeah, no, for real. That was a throwaway.
I like it. Alright, let's move on.
Should
Alright,
do top 5
shooting guards. Let's do it.
All right. Next segment. We're moving on to our top 5 shooting guards in the NBA currently. Not their peak right now.
Yeah, right? currently top 5 shooting guards.
2025, 2026.
Yeah, no, not all time, not any of that. Currently.
Can I get my list first?
I would
I
love
love
to hear your list first. And wait. We're going 5-1.
5-1,
5
absolutely.
to 1. Here we
Yeah, so before the pod, we were talking about Jaylen Brown, so my list changed a little bit. We are regarding him as a shooting guard because that is what he is playing this season.
go. Yes.
Yeah.
My 5 is Devin Booker.
Okay.
Okay.
I think from an offensive standpoint, obviously he's one of the best shot creators and scorers in the NBA. He is my 5. 4, I have to go Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's my 4.
Jeez, Griffin. This is so interesting.
My 3 is Jalen Williams.
Wow!
Coming off a
I'm-
dominant championship run.
I have completely different list from you, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
I have a completely different list
I'm
than you.
completely
One of the best defensive
Well, actually,
guards
that was-
one of the best defensive guards in the NBA. Unbelievable scorer, gets better every year. He's my 3rd. Number 2, and I changed this. Liam convinced me. My number 2 is Anthony Edwards, and my 1 is Donovan Mitchell. I think Donovan Mitchell has the edge on him. He's a little bit of a better scorer, a better decision maker. When Donovan Mitchell comes up the floor as a defender, you are scared because he can do anything. He can drive that to the basket. He can shoot the open 3 from pretty much anywhere. His range has gotten wider every season.
Wait, hold on. Why do you think that that's better than Anthony Edwards? Everything you're saying right
What does
now,
Anthony Edwards do better than Donovan Mitchell?
literally they do the exact same things. I think Anthony is way more efficient from 3 and way better for splash.
Way more
No,
efficient
not
than
way.
Wade.
Not way. But he's a better 3-point shooter. That's a fact.
That's facts.
And
That's it.
He's just as efficient.
Nope. Donovan Mitchell's more
Bro,
efficient.
they're both like
It's
40,
It's
40.
close, but
They're both like 40%.
you give it to Mitch because he makes better decisions.
But you also have to say that Anthony Edwards has the ball a lot more. He has to create a lot more shots. Instead of the depth of the Cavs.
Field goal attempts is also very similar. I think Ant's at a little more right now. Donovan Mitchell is asked to be. Well, hold on.
Wait a minute.
Should we give our list first? Or?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You give,
Because
and then
I also want to get back into that
Okay.
discussion.
You go.
But see, my list is skewed in a way because I have Shea as a shooting guard.
I didn't.
I did not. I do not regard Shea as a shooting guard.
I believe Shea is a shooting guard.
point guard.
Okay, he is a shooting guard. OKC doesn't really have a true point guard. I don't believe in this whole there has to be a 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5 on the floor. Right? You can have 2 2s on the floor. You can have 2 5s on the floor. It doesn't really matter. So I regard him as a shooting guard. At my 5 spot, I decided to go with Devin Booker. Again, like you said, the numbers Devin Booker puts up every single year are unbelievable. The only reason he's not higher on this list is something that I don't give KD, or something that I criticize KD for, and I'm going to criticize Devin Booker for. It's the lack of success that he's had since Chris Paul. Devin Booker missed the playoffs last year when I thought he had a roster that was completely capable of going to the playoffs. I don't think any of the guys I have above him that would have happened to.
They also got swept the year before.
They also got swept the year before after acquiring Kevin Durant. I think that's something that you can't really let him off the hook for. Still, he has the numbers, though, to get him at that 5 spot. At my number 4 spot, I got Jaylen Brown. Okay, Jaylen Brown obviously has the massive contract that I think is going to be under great scrutiny this season.
All right, so we have the same so far.
We have the same so far. Our list is not much different.
Totally different.
Yeah, so I got Jaylen Brown. I think he's, he has a finals MVP. He averages 22 points per game, 4 assists, 5 rebounds, 32% from 3, which is lower than I would like to see from him. But he's overall he's a really solid player. He's such a skilled scorer, and he's one of the reasons why the Celtics won the championship. Second biggest reason why. At my 3 spot, I went with Ant-Man. Okay, I went with Ant-Man. I think, dude, this guy's a hell of a player, and he's a dog.
3?
Well, I have Shea on here, so
it's
right.
Okay.
So, hell of a player, dog, two-way player, like we talked about. 40% from 3 off. I believe it was 9 attempts. What was it? 9 attempts.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely unreal. He could score at every level, near the basket, mid-range, and 3. He's clutch. He's a guy built for the moment. 2 Western Conference Finals, something that can't be ignored. So that's why I got him at that 3 spot. My number 2 spot, similar to Griffin, right? And I know, obviously, opposed to you, I got Donovan Mitchell. Okay, this is a guy who has never missed the playoffs, right? That Utah team, when we look at their second best player, it was Rudy Gobert, and he was able to get them to what? They were 57 wins one season. When he leaves, they go to 37 wins, and they miss the playoffs. That's a huge accomplishment to me, especially what he was able to do offensively and defensively there. Obviously, they fell short in the playoffs, but again, their second best player was Rudy Gobert. They had Joe Ingles, Boban. These are not great defensive pieces. So I got Donovan Mitchell at my 2 spot. I think he's just had a phenomenal career. He's a playoff elevator as well. And yeah, that's why I got my 2 spot. My number 1 spot, I got Shea as a shooting guard, so kind of has to be 32 points per game, scoring champion last year, MVP last year, NBA Finals MVP, and champion. So that's my list.
I agree with you that
If I had him on my list like that, I would have put him 1, 2.
Yeah.
But
Listen, I'll say one quick thing, then you can go. I understand your idea that the NBA currently is positionless, but number 1, Shea is listed as a point guard. Shea is bringing the ball up, and they're playing through Shea. I think you have to regard him as their point guard. I understand, depending on their lineup, he will be listed as a shooting guard at times, just if something happens, but he is their point guard.
yeah, I agree.
I disagree.
Okay.
For my list,
Yeah, totally.
at my 5 spot, I have Jalen Williams. Obviously, he's one of the second, third best player on a stacked Thunder team.
Second for sure.
Yeah, what he brings to that team is not only offensively but defensively is overpowered. He's just a fantastic player and a very key piece to why the Thunder was able to make this fantastic run last season.
Yeah.
Also, very extremely young. I only see development from here. At my 2 spot, I still have to go with Devin Booker. I think he's still a reliable shooter, reliable playmaker. I think he can make his own shot. I just don't think that he's Devin Booker. I just don't think that he's a player that elevates the team. He doesn't make his team better. I think he's along the same lines as a Kevin Durant. I think that he can make his own shot. He's a reliable shooter, consistent shooter, field goal wise, but he's not a player that
Can be the best player on a championship team.
could be the best player on a championship team and a team player that elevates his own players around him, gets players open and able to create shots for other players.
Yeah.
So I think that knocks him significantly, and that's where I keep him at the 4 spot.
Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah. 3 spot, give me Derek White.
Whoa!
I have him as 2. I have him as a 2. And what Derek White brings to an NBA team is phenomenal.
I agree.
He brings exactly what you need on a championship team. I think if you put Derek White on any NBA team, you elevate their team. He's not only a great defender, but he's a great offensive player as well. Whenever you need a clutch 3, Derek White is always there. That's why he's perfect for that Boston Celtics team, where they have a heavily 3-point offensive team.
I regard him as a 1. If I did regard him as a 2, I would hold him in similar fashion as you.
Wait, time out. What does Derek White do better than Jalen Williams?
Jalen Williams, I think that he's a way better spot 3-point shooter. I think that in this Boston,
That's it.
In
Better
this Boston,
facilitator.
better facilitator as well.
Right, but that's why
and
I
I
have
also
him.
think that he's on par, if not a better defender than Jalen Williams as well.
No, he's not a better defender.
Yeah,
He's not a better defender.
What?
He's not.
There's an argument. There's a very solid argument, man. He becomes the best player on the opposing team.
Dude, that is the
Jalen Williams
but
is too.
That's also
What
the
do you
reason.
mean?
That is also the reason why Derek White was picked for the USA team.
But that means, I'm just saying you can't look at it crazy if someone says Derek White's better defender. than
Fine.
Jalen Williams.
Yeah. So,
But vice versa as well.
But based off all that, I think that he's a way more crucial player. And like you see this season, he's already putting up to 20 points per game, and obviously the second best player on that team. So
Definitely better than Tyrese Halliburton.
They're definitely better than Tyrese Halliburton. I gotta give him that. But
Again, biased. These are New York sports fans.
give me Derek White at my 3. At my
I agree, but Derek White is a point guard, man. There's no way Shea is a point guard and Derek White is a shooter.
because
that makes no sense.
No, because what I thought. I mean,
Really, the whole thing, like at this position.
That's
stuff
why
is-
I'm
Yeah,
saying, bro.
but-
When you talk about all-time greats, you're not gonna compare Shea to point guards. You're gonna compare him to shooting guards.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, it's very difficult. I don't know.
But okay, I still want to hear your 2 and 1.
My 2 and 1, obviously 2. Give me Donovan Mitchell, man. No disrespect to Donovan Mitchell.
Obviously.
I think Donovan Mitchell is a phenomenal player. And I think it's pretty close between the two, if I'm being
Yes, it
honest.
is.
But the notch between 1 and 2 is just that, like, I think I see, we're talking about today, right? That was the whole argument.
Yep.
And I think that Ant-Man brings more of that future aspect than what we see from Donovan Mitchell.
We're not.
Future. That's future.
Dude.
Yeah.
It's
Dude,
not
who
the
had-
question.
Who played better?
Who is the best shooter? It is right now. Their
Exactly.
skill.
Who,
Yes.
Okay, no, just this. Who played better in the playoffs last year, Donovan Mitchell or Anthony Edwards?
I think I'd say Donovan Mitchell.
I say Donovan Mitchell too, because Anthony Edwards was the second best player on the Timberwolves when in the playoffs last year. Julius Randle was their best player.
And you gotta.
Donovan Mitchell has always overperformed in the playoffs, always carried his team higher than they should be, and he's always been a first option.
100%.
Yeah,
And
I don't
talking
disagree
about
at all.
Donovan Mitchell in the playoffs, he's always played well in the playoffs.
I 100%
But
agree.
and his team has always failed him, whether it's been injuries, whether it's just been teams that haven't lived up to their potential. With the Jazz, when they made that run, they were the number 1 seed in the 1920 season. Their whole team underperformed, but Mitchell played extremely well.
I 100% agree. I will never discredit that from Donovan Mitchell. But what I would say is obviously regular season, it's pretty clear that I think that Ant is just a slightly better player there.
I don't even
And
agree with that, man. I don't even agree with that, man.
dude, are you kidding? I mean, I think 3-point wise, I think it's definitely Ant-Man for sure.
But it's not definitely like.
I don't think
I don't think it's definitely.
Dude,
I think that
he's
Ant-Man
one of the- he's one-
statistically
he's-
shoots better from 3, but
Yeah.
like Donovan Mitchell is. You're guarding them the same way from the 3-point line.
And you're also looking at it as usage as well. Obviously, the Cavs team is loaded.
So is the Timberwolves.
Is it?
Well,
As opposed to the
okay,
Cavs?
I could
As opposed
say-
to the
I
Cavs?
could
If the
say-
T-Wolves were in the East, they'd be a top 3 team.
Huh?
Record-wise.
The Cavs?
If
No,
the
if the
T-Wolves
T-Wolves
were
were
in
in
the
the
East, they'd be a
I
top
don't know.
3
I don't know.
team.
The East is good and top heavy. That's the thing, bro. The East is really top heavy. But either way, I don't know.
I mean,
if we're gonna
it's just that once
discredit
you
if
see-
we're gonna
once you
discredit the
surround-
Timberwolves supporting cast, you gotta discredit the Cavs supporting cast because none of them have done anything. And Donovan Mitchell has been the only shining light, especially come playoff time, in terms of that. Like Ty Jerome was nothing before Donovan Mitchell. Darius Garland was nothing before Donovan Mitchell. Evan Mobley was obviously nothing before Donovan Mitchell, but he also grew into his own now.
Yeah.
Jared Allen was something, but he only strives because he can play the pick and roll game with Donovan Mitchell. And Donovan Mitchell is definitely a better passer than Anthony Edwards. That's how I see it.
And I said it before, but he's a much better decision maker, and I trust Donovan Mitchell way more than Anthony Edwards, especially in a clutch situation.
And the clutch is close though. I mean,
Yeah.
I agree,
No,
but clutch is close.
I would disagree. I think I would trust Anthony Edwards. But
Really?
yeah, definitely, dude. I don't know. We're looking at Anthony Edwards to be potentially one of the best players in the league. Probably like top 3 in the league.
I agree, but I think Donovan Mitchell
But-
is underrated.
If the
I
T-Wolves are-
think he's underrated. Obviously, I put him at 2 for a reason. I will never discredit this man.
So you think he sucks?
But it's just the totality of the two, and I think it's just small. It's very marginal, but I think the potential that we see from Anthony Edwards, he can only get better from here. Let's be honest, guys.
I know,
And
but
we can argue
Mitchell's-
that Donovan Mitchell is like we're seeing what we can see from Donovan Mitchell.
Well, the question was better right now.
Yeah,
Potential,
And
I'll
I think,
go with
and I
that
think
too.
that coming into this season, I would rather take him. But that's my list, man.
Let me ask you one more question about shooting guards.
Okay.
Who would you rather have, or no, who do you think is better? Austin Reeves or Tyler Hero?
Both like high volume shooting usage shooting guards that can create their own shot. Good 3-pointer.
Austin Reeves is another one of those guys who bet on himself this season.
Yeah.
He's hoping to get a big payday.
And it's not really working out. But
Honestly, I think I'm gonna go Austin Reeves though.
Yeah.
why?
I don't know. I just feel like he.
I'm not
provides-
disagreeing, I'm just asking.
Yeah, I think he provides more than Tyler Hero. I think Tyler Hero is a more skilled scorer at probably all 3 levels, and I'm sure he's more efficient than Austin Reeves. But Austin Reeves is a point guard and being able to play in pick and roll situations and decision making in those situations.
I would say
think-
Tyler Hero's playmaking has gotten a lot better though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sure, but it's not. As
He's
good.
been playing their point guard.
So you think he's better playmaker than Austin Reeves?
Yes.
No. There's no shot, bro. There's actually no shot.
The way
Who's a better pick and roll player, Austin Reeves or Donovan Mitchell?
I
I mean, what am I saying? Austin Reeves or Tyler Hero?
Austin Reeves.
Pick and roll player?
Yeah, pick and roll player, Austin Reeves for sure.
But again, like the pick and roll with Tyler Hero and Bam has been unreal.
Yeah, I agree with that as well.
Yeah. But Bam is better than any big that. Ooh, Davis. They had Davis at one point, but yeah. I would go Austin Reeves.
All right.
I don't know. It's a slight edge. I would honestly go Austin Reeves because I don't think if you plug in Tyler Hero for Austin Reeves for the Lakers, they get better.
I completely agree with that.
I think they actually get worse. I think the usage that Tyler Hero creates is kind of a problem. I think he's a player that is heavy on ball kind of player. Off ball, I don't see him making as much of an impact as Austin Reeves.
I was so high on Tyler Hero after 2020. I was like, yo, this guy's gonna be so good.
I mean,
The finals run with the Heat was unbelievable.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, we gotta go quickly on this last one. All right, let's get to it. Greatest Raptors of all time. I think this is
the greatest Raptor of all time.
The greatest Raptor of all time.
We can get into others
Yeah.
and rank them, but
I think,
in our opinion, our favorite Raptor or the best Raptor of all time.
I think the argument is just between two players, right?
I believe it's between two players.
Let's say it.
What are your two players?
I think it's Vince Carter and DeMar DeRozan.
I agree.
Yeah,
I actually disagree with you.
Wow.
So did you go with the champion?
I did go with the champion. And it's
one
not
season.
And it is not Kawhi Leonard, it is Kyle Lowry. I believe Kyle Lowry is the greatest Raptor of all time.
Of all time.
Yes.
Bro, what?
Yes.
Kyle Lowry?
Yes. 6 All-Star teams, NBA champion, all-time leader in assists, second in points. This guy was the leader of a championship team. I see him as the greatest Raptor of all time. For his longevity on the team, but also his production. 18 points a game, 7 assists a game. One of the best defending guards in the league for a long time. It's Kyle Lowry.
But he's never been the best player on
the Toronto Raptors.
On any team ever.
Okay.
When we think of DeMar DeRozan was definitively the best player homegrown. When we think of the championship Toronto Raptors, we know that Kawhi Leonard was the best player on that team.
Two-time All-Star, two-time All-NBA player with the Toronto Raptors. That's DeMar DeRozan's resume compared to Kyle Lowry.
When Vince Carter was on the Toronto Raptors, he was definitively the best player on that Toronto Raptors team.
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry at no point has ever been the best player on the Toronto Raptors. He's had he has a longevity argument, but that is not a clear and decisive reason why he should be the best player on
Kyle Lowry might be the most beloved Raptor in terms of their fan base.
100%. I think that is a fact
because of how long he was with the team and the stint that he had with them. But greatest, bro, like.
Let me ask you something. Who was more important? Like, obviously their playoff runs led to nothing with DeMar. But you can argue that we can look at the playoff stats, but I think Kyle Lowry was more crucial to those runs than DeMar.
I would like to see the numbers, but I would disagree, bro. Yo, DeMar DeRozan was a bona fide stud on the Toronto Raptors. Like,
yeah, and you got to think about who was guarding DeMar DeRozan throughout all these playoff runs. It was the greatest player of all time.
Was LeBron guarding him?
I'm pretty sure it was.
Because
who else was? Maybe Iman Shumpert.
I think it was like JR who was guarding him.
Yeah, I don't think it was LeBron. I think
LeBron was
guarding their 4.
Who was there for?
It was.
I think he was Serge Ibaka at the time.
Yeah.
He was guarding. Who?
Yeah, I know. But they didn't. It wasn't matchup wise. I don't know. It was hard back then. Yeah. But yeah, personally, I'm not even gonna go with DeMar. My greatest Raptor of all time is Vince Carter, and I have a few reasons why. First of all, he's the one who put the Raptors on the map, okay? He was such a sensation at the time, the way he dunked, his dunk contest wins. But when people talk about, Vince Carter and his time with the Toronto Raptors, it is put into, I don't know, just a different kind of atmosphere. Obviously, the lack of playoff success was there, but I don't think they ever really surrounded him with a solid team. Let me read off some of his stats in this round. I mean, he averaged 22 points per game, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, on 49% from the field, 37% from three in a time where 3-point shots weren't valued as much as they are today. I think those are really good numbers. On top of the fact that he put Toronto in the Raptors, that's why I have him as my greatest Toronto Raptor of all time.
See, this is where we disagree. I had to put DeMar DeRozan up there. But, because not only does he have the numbers to back it up, especially during the regular season, I think also playoff success also has to do with it.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was never going to get past that Cavs team. I think everyone understands that, like, I mean, LeBron is one of the greatest players, the greatest player of all time, and he was never going to get through that. But, with that being said, his ECF runs were fantastic. He was also a great regular season player, playing up to the #1 seed at some point.
60-win team.
60-win team. And I think for me, that is...
Means a lot.
It means a lot, and I think that's a lot more than we ever speak about with Vince Carter. Obviously, Vince Carter was the #1 player on those teams, but you could argue that he had another better career with the Brooklyn Nets, where he went to 2 finals in a row. That's a pretty good accomplishment on its own.
Yeah.
What happened during the end of his Raptors career is very soured about that whole situation as well. How that went down was very rough, and with the Brooklyn Nets, obviously they had amazing success as Vince Carter as the second best player on that team. So what I see from that, I would have to say that DeMar DeRozan was probably the best.
Listen, at the end of the day, Kyle Lowry is the most accomplished Raptor of all time.
Yeah.
With the numbers, with the championship. Toronto looks at Kyle Lowry like an icon.
And I think all-star appearances, he leads all of them.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I think that regards him as the best ever.
But it's also the same thing with as just like beloved player. Like he's definitely the most beloved player, but I never.
It's not just beloved, dude.
But you never saw Kyle Lowry as their best player ever. I never looked at Kyle Lowry on the Toronto Raptors.
Maybe not.
He's the best player on that team right now.
Maybe not best, but most important. I think he was.
I wouldn't even say important.
All right, guys. I think that's going to be a wrap for today's episode.
Yeah.
Obviously, another great episode.
Let's go.
Like, subscribe, share. Please leave a comment. Please tell us what you think on all these takes. Right, wrong, whether we're crazy, whether we're not, whether I'm right, because I usually am.
Hell no.
But thanks for another episode of tuning in, and let's run the tape.
Let's run the tape, baby.
Tea time, baby.
All right. Yeah, that was a good episode.